This is an interesting view, and you can actually hear me talking in a car now. This is also weird because the camera's going to be flip-flopped. So here we go. If you haven't seen the end of the last video, I kind of explained what's going on here. So I drove the Duster down for MCACN, leaving it there. My dad's going to take it home since we only live about an hour away from the show, because I don't want to drive it in the salt over the winter. So that's going to go home, stay in the garage. And I picked up this thing for the winter, shop truck, tow pig, whatever you can kind of think of, and it's pretty sweet. So I have just about a 5-hour drive back to Ohio, where I'm going to school right now. So I got this thing loaded up. I got some metal in the back that I grabbed while I was in town because Metal Supermarkets is here, so that'll be some stuff for the charger coming up soon. But yeah, the only time I've actually driven this thing around was the other day when I was kind of just running around town doing stuff and whatnot. My dad picked it up about a month ago. It was closer to him, that was closer to me, so it made sense for him to go grab it. He's been storing it for me. Did a lot of little things to it that got this thing pretty dialed, so very thankful for that and happy with how it's running so far. Time to take it on its first big road trip down the highway here and see what this thing will do. Into Indiana we go. Wow, I just totally butchered saying that, but yeah, truck drives pretty smooth here. We're going a little bit slower now that we're getting into traffic, but I'm going faster. The only thing that's, I guess, kind of annoying is the seals on the doors here are pretty shot, so you can hear the wind coming through. But other than that, this thing is driving pretty smooth, knock on wood, and got to cross through all of Indiana, a little bit in Ohio now, so making good progress on this drive. First gas stop here, I've gone about 130 miles. Truck seems to be doing pretty good. I've had to turn the heat off and down multiple times. It gets so hot in there. So it's a good problem to have. I'll take it considering it's like 20 degrees out right now. So if this thing's actually a 16-gallon tank, like the internet says, I'm getting like 9.5 miles per gallon going about 60, 65 down the highway here. So it's the old brick here isn't the most aerodynamic thing, but I don't know. My dad said he messed with the carb a bunch when he was driving around over the past month or so. Said he can get about 10 to like 12 out of it was the best, just messing with the carb, trying to see if he can get anything better, but just couldn't. So it is what it is. It's a big heavy truck. I'm not sure what these things weigh. I'd assume, God, I don't know, maybe 4,500 ish, probably more, maybe close to 5. Which is kind of my best guess, but getting a little bit more used to it now. The cab on this thing is absolutely massive compared to the Duster, and that's pretty much all I've known over the past few years. So getting used to the power steering, going back to a column shift, automatic, and the big wide cab with the bench seat is a little bit different. So got about another 100 miles here to go later tonight. Oh, wow. Only had 1.5 gallons left in the tank, so good thing I stopped. And we'll just keep on trucking. No pun intended. So like I was saying earlier, the wind noise isn't too bad just driving around, but when you're on the highway at higher speeds, the door seals are shot. It's not horrible, but you can kind of hear what it is. So I'd like to replace those, but check this out. So actually maybe a year or two ago, my grandfather gave me these old Pia fog lights. I just never had a use for them because I didn't think they fit well on the Duster. And my dad and brother actually mounted them on this thing, got them wired up, so they're pretty neat. It's a 3-way switch, so right now it's just on the white lights. This is with them off. Yes, the headlights are still on, they're just that dim. And then they also have a yellow mode for the fog, so they're pretty cool little units. I like having them on there, and then when I do a walk around of the outside of the truck, I'll show you what they look like, because not only do they function really nicely, but I think they look pretty cool on the front, kind of fit the era of the truck. Just made it over the Ohio border. One final stop here. I got about an hour to go. I'm definitely getting more used to this thing. It is so cool to just look at from the outside. So getting more, used to the inside here. You can see I got all my junk in it and everything, but it's kind of pretty spacious inside. Can't lie, this bench seat is pretty nice, and my dad got this thing pretty dialed for me, which I am very happy and thankful for. So check this out. Don't pay attention to the buzzer. That's the what you call it, seatbelt buzzer, but there we go. Everything seems to be doing pretty good. So like I said, About an hour left here. It's starting to get cold out, but this heater is working pretty dang solid. There we have it. Truck made it back here. We're at the shop, and I gotta unload everything from this weekend here. Got a bunch of stuff when I was at home for the Charger here. So first official road trip in this thing. I don't know, somewhere between like 250, 300 miles. I don't know exactly. But did pretty good. So in a few days when it's light out and I can do a full walk around, we'll do that on the truck. Show you guys everything about it, the good, the bad, the fun stuff, and maybe go over kind of what some future plans are and I don't know, little stuff I want to do to it. Now that it's light out, you can actually see. We'll do a walk around of the truck here. I'll show you pretty much everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, kind of mix everything. It's not the most interesting thing, but I figured I'll show kind of what it looks like now, explain what's going on, just in case I decide to do something with it down the line. You can see where it started. Start out here with kind of a walk around of the outside of the truck. I mean, the big thing is it's green. It is a C15. You'll hear me call this thing the C10 or the truck, just because that's just what I call these things. I know it's not actually a C10, C15. And the coolest part is it's got the heavy half package. So it's half-ton frame with 3/4 ton suspension. I think actually on the build sheet it just says heavy duty suspension, but if we take a peek in here, the build sheet is on the bottom of the glove box right here. Let's see, I forget exactly. Heavy duty chassis right there up on the top. I couldn't remember what it was. But the other cool thing is that the Shamrock Green is special order. That's what we're assuming the SO stands for there. But other than that, it's pretty basic. You can see on the inside here, it's green on green, which my assumption for that is maybe it was like a Parks and Rec truck or a city truck at some point. The other clue that kind of gives me that I don't know, assumption is that the trim only goes around the top here and it doesn't go on the bottom. So maybe that's where they put like a decal or a logo or something for whatever he's used for. The only reason I could think of that is because I know cop cars back in the day, they didn't have the trim that went across the center of the door, so they could put like the star or their logo right there as well. The roof up here probably has the best patina out of the entire truck. I mean, that looks pretty cool. The hood, it's got some patina, but I mean, it's pretty rough. You can see this color in the sun is going to pop, and in a future video, do something with the paint here, see what that looks like. But these mirrors are hideous. The towing mirrors, I'm not a fan of them at all. They look like freaking like wings on it, or like, I don't know, just not the biggest fan of them. So we'll do something with that in a future video. Go on the back here. I mean, you could see everyone was saying this thing looked pretty mint when I post some pictures of it on Instagram. It's all right, but you know, it's got the usual Midwest truck, you know, abuse. Cab corners are shot, rockers are shot. Up here on the lower fender is pretty bad. So going back here, it's got the usual wheel well stuff. Not as bad as some trucks, which I'm pretty happy about. So it's just got a few spots there. It's got this giant dent here for some reason. But the bed overall, I mean, it's beat up and whatnot. You could see that wheel well has definitely been put to use. Just got some, you know, pitting in the corners and whatnot, but the bed is solid. It is there, which is cool. I'm excited to actually be able to use this rather than having to fit stuff like Tetris in the Duster's trunk. So back here, pretty simple, nothing special, anything like that. The coolest thing about this truck is the factory heavy half decals. I love how those look, and I think they go with the green here pretty cool. Just got some rallies. I don't even know what size. I'm gonna say maybe 15s on there. So about a month ago, my dad actually went and picked this thing up. It was closer to him than it was closer to me. He took it home, kind of stored it for me, did a bunch of little things to it. One of the things he did is him and my brother actually repainted those wheels, so they look a lot better. He messed with the carb. The carb on it originally was like, I think the secondaries were just zip tied open, and it didn't even have a choke on it, so it kind of sort of works. So he went through, rebuilt the carb. That's why it starts so good now. He did a bunch of little things on the interior and basically just kind of got this thing road ready for me, in order to, you know, so I can just kind of pick it up and take it. So I kind of want to do all that, but I'm thankful he did, so I don't have to mess with it, because, you know, kind of got the project of all projects right here, and that's not what I needed, was another project. This is honestly my first time looking underneath in the daylight as well. because I haven't had really much time to look at this thing in the light. So here we go. Pretty simple, nothing crazy. I mean, frame looks solid. There's no crazy rust. Of course, everything's gonna be surface rusted. It's got some sort of like tractor muffler configuration thingy on it. This thing is quiet. So my dad also put a new e-brake cable on there, rebuilt that whole system. You can see that's nice and shiny. Got some DEI heat wrap on there because that muffler gets pretty hot right next to the cable. Yeah, pretty simple, pretty basic, nothing crazy underneath here. This cab corner and rocker looks almost identical to the other side. You can see, you know, the front of the fender here in front of the rocker is shot. And one crazy thing is the outer rockers for these things are only like 25 bucks from anywhere you can get them. It's pretty insane. So sheet metal for this thing, it's a lot cheaper than anything like that, which blows my mind. I don't understand it. So take a peek at the inside here. Like I said, it was green on green. It's kind of a cool combo, pretty basic, pretty simple, you know, nothing crazy inside here. It's got some nice green paint on the roof there. You can see my dad went through, cleaned up all the gauges. He said you couldn't see them. They were all like scratched up and full of dust at first. He got the heater working perfectly. That thing is pretty awesome. It's got an AM radio that works for about 5 seconds, then just shuts off, which is, you know, fine because I don't listen to AM radio. He rebuilt the clock spring and the steering wheel, put a new horn button on it, so that's still nice and shiny. That works good. And yeah, we'll take a look at the floor and show you what's underneath this floor mat here. You see that green color? That's gonna be cool once it's all shined up on the outside and whatnot. But yeah, the floors are, you know, is what it is. They got rust, not surprised. You know, you can see some daylight coming through there. I think on this side, yeah, you got a bunch. Yep, nice big old hole right there. So I guess whoever rides passenger in this truck's gonna get a nice breeze over there. You can kind of see it underneath. Oh yeah, that's mint. It's fine. This side I'm pretty sure is way worse. That's why the previous owner had this giant steel plate under it. You can see a hole over there, and yeah, everything over there. So in all honesty, I can't feel like a breeze coming through the floor or anything, so I guess that steel plate is doing its job. If I decide to keep this thing, maybe one day I'll go through, do all the metal work and everything, get it all nice and rust free. But for right now, that steel plate's just gonna stay on the floor and do its job for this winter. The last thing here is power plant, powertrain. It's super simple. It's 350 combo, nothing crazy or anything. This truck does have AC, and this is the first vehicle I've bought that has AC and was running and driving when purchased. So we're really oh, and this is the newest thing I have purchased as well, 79. So we're really leveling up over here. I mean, it's a big step, you know. So the AC doesn't work as of right now. I'd like to go through and maybe get it working, but I don't need it right now for the winter, so that's kind of pointless as of right now. Maybe do that in the summer or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's as simple as it can get under here. Nothing cool, nothing crazy. I did think it was interesting that the jack and tire iron are held down under the hood right there. So that's kind of a quick walk around of the truck here. Oh yeah, those are the lights I was talking about earlier in the video. They look sick on the front. So I don't know, I went and looked out at a few D100s and Power Wagons and stuff like that. I think I went and looked at 3. None of them worked out. Then my second option was, yeah, C10 of sorts. I mean, I didn't really care if it was the Dodge or Chevy. I ended up with GMC, which I actually like these more than a C10 there, you know, because those are C10s. These aren't, even though I'm going to call this thing a C10. So is what it is. I would have liked to have a 4-wheel drive one. Wasn't in the budget and just couldn't find one in time. So yeah, here we are with this thing. Maybe I'll have to throw some sandbags or something in the bed for the snow, but I don't know if it'll get to that point. So there's a quick walk around of the old heavy half here. That's gonna do it for the first walk around, I guess, look at the truck here. Pretty simple, pretty basic, not much to it there. But if you want to see me, I guess, do anything to it down the line or whatnot, let me know. I'll take a peek at that. Like I said, I got some small stuff planned for it, but as of right now, a little more focused on the other project in there that needs a lot more attention. So this thing will just kind of be in the background, do some little things to it down the line. Maybe in the future I'll end up as a full build or something. We'll see though. So appreciate everyone's support, and thanks for watching.